What if the greatest challenges of your life, the nights you thought you wouldn't survive, the storms that nearly broke you, were actually shaping you into someone unshakable? It sounds impossible in the moment, doesn't it? But here's the truth. Pressure creates diamonds, fire forges steel, and pain produces strength. That brings me to a powerful quote. Hard times create strong people. This isn't just a catchy saying, it's a roadmap for survival. It means the difficulties you're facing aren't here to destroy you, but to prepare you. Every challenge is like a weight in the gym. At first it feels unbearable, but over time it builds the muscle you didn't know you had. Think about it. What if the pain you're enduring right now is not the end of your story, but the beginning of your transformation? Here's the question I want you to wrestle with. What kind of person are your struggles shaping you into? Because history shows us this. Those who endure the hardest battles often rise to the highest places. And no story proves that better than the life of Nelson Mandela. The year is 1962. Nelson Mandela, a young lawyer and activist in South Africa, is arrested for fighting against apartheid, a brutal system that stripped black South Africans of freedom, dignity, and rights. Mandela was charged with sabotage and sentenced to life in prison. Most men would have broken at the sound of that sentence. Most would have given up hope, surrendered to despair, and accepted the walls of their cell as the walls of their destiny. But not Mandela. He was sent to Robben Island, one of the harshest prisons in the world. Imagine this, a tiny cell, barely enough room to stretch out, a thin mat on the floor, and a bucket for a toilet. No luxuries, no comforts, just concrete, steel, and silence. Prisoners were forced to do hard labor in a limestone quarry, breaking rocks under the scorching sun day after day. Their eyes burned from the glare of the white stone. Their hands blistered and bled from the work. Food was scarce. Letters from family were rare, often censored or denied altogether. And yet, he endured. For 27 years. That's longer than some of us have even been alive. But here's what makes his story extraordinary. Prison didn't break him. Prison shaped him. He entered prison as a young revolutionary, full of fire and anger. But over the years, he transformed. The walls that were meant to crush his spirit instead became the crucible that forged his character. He learned patience. He learned discipline. He learned the power of forgiveness. Imagine sitting in a cell for decades, robbed of your freedom, knowing your family was suffering outside. Most of us would become bitter, consumed with hatred. But Mandela made a choice. He chose to let prison teach him, not destroy him. His fellow prisoners said he became a leader even behind bars. He would encourage them, teach them, and remind them of the cause they were fighting for. Even in chains, his spirit was free. Then came the turning point. In 1990, after 27 long years, Nelson Mandela was finally released. The world watched him as he walked out of prison, head held high, fist raised in triumph. But here's the part that shocked everyone. Instead of seeking revenge, instead of fueling hatred, Mandela preached forgiveness. He worked to unite a divided nation. 4 years later, in 1994, he was elected as the first black president of South Africa. From prisoner to president, from outcast to icon. And it was the hard times, the 27 years in that cell, that gave him the strength, the patience, and the vision to lead a broken country into healing. Mandela himself once said, "I never lose. I either win or learn." His story is proof that hard times don't just create strong people, they create leaders, visionaries, and world changers. So here's the reminder I want you to take from Mandela's journey. Tough times won't last, but tough people do. Mandela's prison years eventually ended, apartheid eventually crumbled, but the strength, wisdom, and courage he built during those years lasted for the rest of his life and still inspire the world today. So what about you? Maybe your prison isn't made of concrete and bars. Maybe it's the prison of debt, the prison of failure, the prison of heartbreak, sickness, or rejection. It feels endless, it feels suffocating. But just like Mandela, you have a choice. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. You can choose to see every setback as training, every disappointment as discipline, every heartbreak as preparation. Because just like Mandela, you're not being buried, you're being planted. Let's bring it all together. We began with the quote, "Hard times create strong people." We walked through Mandela's 27 years of unimaginable struggle, pain, and sacrifice. And we ended with the truth, tough times won't last, but tough people do. So here's my challenge for you. What prison are you facing right now? What struggle feels unbearable in your life? Whatever it is, don't give up. Don't lose heart. Because if Mandela could walk out of 27 years of confinement and still change the world, you can walk through your storm and still fulfill your purpose. Remember this, the world doesn't remember those who had it easy. The world remembers those who endured the fire and came out stronger. So hold on, stay strong, keep fighting. Because one day you'll look back at the hardest chapter of your life and realize it wasn't the end. It was the training ground for your greatest victory. Be unshakable. Be resilient. Be tough. Because your hard times are not here to destroy you. They're here to build you into the person you were born to become. Stay strong. Your time is coming.
Thank you for joining me today. If you found this message inspiring, consider following or subscribing for more uplifting content. Together, let's celebrate the journey of growth, one small step at a time.